What's going on, you guys? Today I decided to do a sit-down video. And you might notice that the angle's a little bit different. I finally decided to get a tripod. Isn't that exciting? So, anyways, what I'm going to be talking about today is a few things. It's going to revolve piano practice. It's going to revolve my backstory, why I got started, how I got started, what I practice, how I practice, why I practice, and everything in between in regards to that. So guys, I started about 7 years ago. I started on June 18th, 2014. And one of my friends back in high school, he actually got me involved into the piano. We were working on a Spanish project together, and I went over his house. We were going to create a song, right? It was basically for the finals. And I was going to rap, and he was going to, play something on the piano. So we went to his house, and he had this really nice upright, like $4,000, $5,000 upright. And I was just loving everything he was doing. Like, it was like mesmerizing watching him. And then after a little while, after a little bit of practice and everything, we were going over our Spanish study. He let me practice on the piano. I was like, man, this is fun. And yeah. Anyway, so practice with him for that rest of that day. And then he wanted to come over to my house and practice. And I was like, I don't have a piano. And then I ended up talking to my neighbor who actually had this little 61 key Yamaha keyboard. Some of you might have been familiar with that kind. But it's very, very cheap. It's a starter keyboard. It's not weighted or anything. Not like a real piano is. But anyway, he let me borrow it because I was like, man, I want to practice. I want to try this thing. I want to work on a Spanish project. I have nothing to practice with. He was like, cool, man, you can have it. So every night, when I get home from school, I would just go on and just bang it out until it was like time to go to bed. And I do that every single day, basically. Either I go to my friend's house, I come home, practice, or not go to my friend's house and come home and practice. And it would be like, I would practice to the point where people would be like, hey, shut the hell up. I'm trying to go to sleep. Stop. So I did that for about 6 months. And then my father was like, all right, you got a passion for it. You're developing a little bit of skill. So he decided to buy me a upright, a courier piano, actually. And he put it at his house. And when I go over there, I play on that till people would be like, all right, time to go to bed. But I don't know what it was. It was just passion for it. I started playing. First song I ever learned was Imagine by John Lennon. And then I learned Right Now by Van Halen, which I learned that really early on, like within like 2-3 months of playing. I just remember sitting there practicing for like 2 weeks straight, just trying to get that riff in the beginning going. But finally I got it. I was like, wow, this is amazing. And then learning that just absolutely elevated my playing. Unfortunately, I don't remember like the details of how it elevated, but I just remember practicing that, and then afterwards, going from before and after, I just remember there was a big jump in that. So, and then after that, there was a senior show, which happened. I was like, all right, I'm gonna do it. My dad set me up with a cool piano routine, which involved maybe 5 or 6 little snippets of songs. There was, let's see, Hotel California by the Eagles. We had Clocks by Coldplay. I believe Van Halen Right Now was in that mix. What else was in there? Oh, I think Imagine was in that. Matter of fact, I can try to see if I can find a clip and put it in this video so you guys can see. But that was within playing of 6 months, and I got up there and I did that. So it's just hours of practice, guys. So how does this all tie back to practice, and how does this involve you guys? Well, it's about, if you're somebody who wants to play the piano specifically, you can make it happen, okay? I don't believe in talent. I believe in work. I believe in ethics, and I believe in like practicing every day. So the more you do something, the better you're going to get, right? Maybe there is an element of people being gifted. Maybe there is. I don't know. Like, from my own experience, when I started, I practiced like 8-10 hours a day. Like, all the free time I had, I would practice. So by the time 6 months rolled around, like, I was sounding really, really good for that time frame, right? I mean, looking back now, it'd be like, all right, I could do way more than that, but it's just like, what it boils down to is this: the more you put into it, the more you're gonna get, right? As with anything in life, you know, there's a give and take. If you only spend 30 minutes a day, I mean, let's do the math, okay? 30 minutes a day, you do that for 6 days or 7 days a week. So 30 times 7, that's 210 minutes. So let me think. So 60, 120, 180, 240. So that's slightly under 4 hours a week. So you multiply that over a year. I mean, guys, that's not that many hours. I don't have a calculator, so I'm not gonna, get that technical right now. But you can do it yourself. What is that? What is the math on that? And then look at that number, and then realize that's not that much. So how can you expect to make significant progress over 30 minutes a day, 40 minutes a day, 20 minutes, 5 minutes a day? I mean, if you're going to practice, let's say 10 minutes a day for 6 days a week, that's an hour a week. I mean, how much progress can you make in an hour a week? My guess is probably not much. Matter of fact, if you're going to practice about 10 minutes a day, you're probably going to lose. Like, if you're at any sort of, progress, if you made any sort of progress, you're probably going to lose it. Like, within that week. You're basically just going to be, like, chasing your tail, if you know what I'm saying. But yes, guys, so ultimately, it's all on to you. If you want to practice, if you want to play the piano, don't make excuses, make it happen. If you have to wake up an hour early to make it happen, then wake up an hour early. And if you're confused about what to practice and how to practice, great question. I'd be happy to go more in depth, but here's a summation, okay? Say, okay, I'm going to practice X amount of time each day. And I recommend no less than an hour a day. If you're going to practice less than an hour a day, don't even do it. Don't even bother starting, because it's not worth it. The rule of the Maslow's law is 10,000 hours to become an expert, right? So do the math on that. Like, let's say you do 30 minutes. I mean, that's going to take you. So 30 minutes times 300, that's like 150 hours a week, a month, or a year. So it's going to take you a long time to get to that 10,000, right? My math might be wrong, but because I don't have a calculator, and I'm also, like, I'm very, like, visual, but it's very easy for me to write stuff down. But, like, when I'm just doing it like this, it's hard for me to calculate numbers in my head. But, yeah, guys, honestly, it just takes work. Anybody can do it. Anybody can make it happen. Like I said, if you got to get up an hour early, and I'm doing this video because I want to inspire you guys. I've had many people in my life, not just from YouTube, people in person, be like, oh, I wish I could play. And I will tell them blatantly, well, why don't you? And they go, I don't have time. I used to play. I used to take lessons when I was a kid. Why'd you quit? I don't have time. Life got in the way. Guys, excuses are just excuses. I mean, a lot of these people, and notice what they say. I wish I played. And they have, and I mean, honestly, yes, I understand there's responsibilities. Like, I have responsibilities too. I work, I work a job just like most of the people out there, right? And I'm still here practicing. I'm still here shooting videos, making it happen. Not saying that to brag. I'm just saying that you can make it happen. You know, maybe you have a spouse and they need their time. Fine. You know, cut that into your schedule of the day. But then find an hour in the day. Like if you have to wake up an hour early, then do it. Like the nice thing about a keyboard is this. You can adjust the volume and you can play with headphones. So if people have a problem with you playing, then just put on your headphones and practice. If you get up at 4, boom, you can go from 4 to 5 and then everybody else in the house wakes up at 5, let's say. Or whatever your schedule is. If everybody wakes up at 10, then you can play at 9. I don't know. Whatever your day and schedule looks like, you can make it work. But an hour a day, guys, if you're just starting out, focus on your technique. I'd say 15 minutes of technique, 15 to 20 minutes of technique is sufficient as a beginner. And then after that, work on repertoire. Find something. This is probably the best advice I'm about to give you. Okay. You can take lessons. There's nothing wrong with taking lessons. I offer lessons where people who take lessons, a matter of fact, where teachers go wrong is they teach their students stuff that the student doesn't want to learn. Like, in my opinion, not a lot of people want to learn classical music. So, why do a lot of people quit lessons? Because they are learning stuff they don't care about. Like, teach them, like, if they want to learn pop music, teach them pop music. If they want to learn classical, then go ahead and teach them classical. If they want to learn jazz or blues or rock and roll or anything, teach them that. You know, maybe you have to segue into that, but like, teach them stuff that they want to know. Otherwise, they're going to get sick of it, right? Case in point, that happened with me when I had my very first teacher. Okay, she would teach stuff strictly out of the book, and most of the time it was classical stuff or stuff like, you know, baby songs, like we're playing like a very basic Jingle Bells or Ode to Joy, you know, do 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 do, that one. And there's nothing wrong with foundation, but like the reason why I kept taking lessons was because I personally wanted to get good. Okay, so I would take lessons with her, and then I'd do my own stuff on the side. You know, I'd learn songs like Safe and Sound by Capital Cities. I'd learn Viva La Vida by Coldplay, Clocks by Coldplay, Free Bird by Leonard Skinner, and a bunch of other stuff. So that helped me go through the beginning barriers that the piano brings. So, but that's the best advice. Learn music that you want to practice, and ultimately you're going to stick with it. Now, if you're in the more intermediate level, I would focus less on technique, because by that point, you should have your technique down. You should know how to do your scales. You should know how to go up and down the keyboard, both hands. Definitely should know how to do that. You should know all your major scales, all your minor scales, because there's really only 12. I mean, 12 major, 12 minor, but they're the same. And I can make a video on that, on how all that works. But there's really only 12 scales. But yeah, so if you're intermediate, what you should probably be looking at is maybe do 15, 20 minutes of improvising. You know, pick a rhythm on your keyboard and just go with it. Just pick a key, right? A key that you're not good in, preferably. You know, let's say a key of F. You're going to pick the key of F, and then you're going to pick a random rhythm. And you just try to make something out of it, right? Doesn't even have to be complicated. And then, you know, do that. Once you feel kind of proficient in that key, then after like 2 weeks, pick a different key that you're not proficient in. Maybe A flat, right? Or jump into the minor keys. A flat minor. So that's about it, guys. You know, you can make it happen. You can do it. It's going to take time, you know, but promise you can do it. Pick music that you want to study. Learn that music. Find somebody who plays like you want to play. Practice like them. And then eventually you're going to sound like them. And I can tell you what, I've never regretted playing the piano. It's been there all the time when things were hard. You know, it's been an outstanding journey. It's opened opportunities, actually. It's made connections. I've met people with this instrument, made friends with it, you know. So yeah, you can do it. You can absolutely do it. And I want to help you guys do it too. So leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Hopefully this inspired you in some way, shape, and or form. Leave a comment. Let me know what video you want to see next. Until the next one, I will catch you guys later.